Please welcome this night's Soleil Moon Frye. There you go. Aw. There you go. Awesome.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to see you guys. It makes me very emotional. I'm like,
So nice.
nice to see you guys.
That's so nice. You been to Pittsburgh before?
I love Pittsburgh. It's like, it's one of my treasures in life. My daughter and I came to Pittsburgh in last February, and we went to a hockey game, and it was so cool. I love it here.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you. And I just so you know, I landed. So I was in Miami doing some philanthropic work, and I landed this morning, but I haven't slept yet, you guys, because our charity event last night went very late, and my flight was at 4 a.m. because I wanted to be here with you guys. So I love you, and if I seem loopy, it's because I haven't
It's okay.
slept.
It's all right. What was the charity event?
It was for an organization called Rewild, which is co-founded by Wes and a gentleman named Leo DiCaprio, who is one of my childhood friends and amazing and doing incredible work around conservation.
Awesome.
So it's really fun.
So
Yeah.
can we have our mic up just a little bit?
I love working with friends that, I love. It's awesome.
Oh, thanks. So I wanted to start right off the bat. You started super young in acting.
Yeah.
What's one of the first things you remember?
Oh, as a little girl at 5 years old, I grew up watching my brothers. My brothers were actors, and my dad was an actor, and that was incredible. And I was super shy, and I always hid behind my mom. Like, everywhere I went, I hid behind her. I was really shy, and then one day I was like, I want to try it. And she was like, what do you mean? You're so shy. And acting really helped me get out of my shell. It really helped me to find my voice, and it was an amazing experience. And I was doing these I did a couple incredible experiences on movies, and I did a Sun-Made Raisins commercial. Remember Sun-Made Raisins? And that was really fun. And so that was all great. And then I worked with Wes Craven, and I did this film called Invitation to Hell, which was really cool. And that was wild. And so I had some really fun experiences. And then at 7 years old, I had the incredible honor of being Punky Brewster. Oh my God. And thank you. And it was like, joy of my life, It was incredible. There was a big auditioning process and many, many thousands of people. And when it got to the final auditions, my mom and I went, and we got in the elevator, and a little girl said, "Oh, I already got it, so you don't need to go up there." And my mom was like, "Okay, let's go home." And I was like, "No, I really want to go for it." And I did, and it was so incredible. And Punky is such a part of my heart and spirit, and I always say if I'm 100 years old and people call me Punky, I'm so thankful for it because I love her so much.
Well, how does it make you feel, this lasting effect on people's lives and pretty much a household word?
Thank you. It's so inspiring. Being here is really such a treasure. Oh my God, this little girl that I'm so in love with over here. I love everyone here. This for me, being here with you is a really cathartic, healing, beautiful experience, because it's to have that connection and that interaction and to be able to spend time with you guys, it just makes my heart feel really, really full. And thank you. And Punky for me has gotten me through so much in life, the trials and tribulations growing up. I always leaned into her, and it was my superhero, part of me. And then as I got older and life went into different directions, and as a mom, I have these 4 exquisite kids, and the person that I had spent so much of my life to, when we went into different directions, Punky again, got me through it, So it's she's constantly that superhero that I get to lean into, and that I think she goes so far beyond me because she's within all of us, the collectiveness. And so that authenticity and being yourself and all of those things that I want to
be inside, you know?
Do you think that's what makes it multi-generational? The people still
Yeah,
are attached to it?
I think it's really timeless, and I think that that there were so many topics that were explored, but that we really were living through and experiencing. And you know, Cherry and I were best friends as kids, and she's still one of my best friends. You know, when I was talking to someone today about the Challenger episode, and I had wanted to be an astronaut, and so they took our real life experiences and then wrote around what we were going through as kids. The episode, in the refrigerator, a young person had written in the storyline idea, and that's how they ended up then having the episode of Cherry getting stuck in the refrigerator. And so it was really, bless you, it was really beautiful that they would incorporate these real life experiences, and they would see what was going on in the world and what was going on for us as kids, and we got to really live through the characters.
So how did you manage, at that age, how did you manage to mix fun with work?
It was the most fun environment ever. Had an amazing family, and the creators were so encouraging of us being kids. So we would pogo stick all around, furniture everywhere. We had these little scooters, and we would scooter around. I mean, we caused such havoc on that lot. We would scooter around the entire lot. I mean, one day we were playing hide and seek and ran off, and they found us, they found me in Johnny Carson's office. We were just, it was amazing. It was like the back lot was our playground, and so we weren't kids that were just working all the time. We were really able to be kids, and my mom would always encourage me to go to summer camp, and I always had my childhood friends that I still have today that were such a meaningful part of my life. So that grounding, you know.
Yeah. So for working on the show, was it like script day, film? I mean, was it how long did it take you to do one episode?
It was like a week. We would do school on set in the mornings, and then you would go and rehearse, and then Thursday would be your blocking day or your block and tape day, and then Friday would be your live audience day.
When did you know that it was going to be a big hit? I mean,
oh my goodness, it was so incredible because the experience was amazing. I grew up with a single mom. It was a very life-changing experience. When I remember I went to a fair that was in our neighborhood, and the first time someone recognized Punky, and I was and that was such an amazing experience. And then to have that experience grow when I went to go do the Easter egg roll at the White House, and there was the most exquisite group of people there. My mom lost me, and she found me in the Oval Office eating Popeye's fried chicken. Literally, I was hanging out with the security, the Secret Service, eating chicken in the Oval Office.
God.
It was awesome. And so it was amazing. It was such an incredible, organic, experience. But it's we always had that grounding, people today that have brought these exquisite toys and the most exquisite things that I'm seeing that I've never seen before. So as a little girl, I didn't own a piece of the merchandise and stuff that they did. So, I I don't mean just as a little girl, but let's,
yeah, I hear ya.
As a little girl in the 80s, I didn't quite, they had this incredible line of merchandise, but I didn't know how far reaching it was, Start crying again. So it's to be here and to travel and now to have these experiences being part of this community and see how much it touched people. It's that is so such a beautiful feeling,
And that's awesome. And that leads.
And I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart. It's so awesome. I knew that it touched people. I just didn't realize the impact, that I do now. And that's and so much of that is through these beautiful experiences with you guys.
When did you start doing Comic-Cons?
I literally I I had the incredible honor of working on a show that I love so much called The Proud Family for years, and I did one Comic-Con with them where we went and we did like pictures and things like that. So I had seen that. Yeah. I had never had this experience until 90s Con, which was pretty recently, like in the last like 6 months, and it was such a moving, beautiful, spiritual experience that I was like, oh my God, I want to do these. I want to interact with people. I want to spend time. So that's how it happened. And so I've been really fortunate to have a few of these experiences. So I think this may be like my third experience.
Wow. So I got to ask you, I know these are still fresh.
That's like, I like get nervous even like speaking from people. I'm like, oh my God.
So these are still fresh with you. Any one fan experience that just really hit it home for you?
Every experience has been like
so nice.
Unbelievable. I mean, I have to say, this little girl over here today and her mommy, she brought me gifts and touched my heart so very much. And I love her, I love her, I love her. And I mean, I got a bracelet, I got roses, I mean, literally like, and oh my God, the person that said that the thing about Skittles, are you here? Yeah, somebody was talking about like people's colors and just, I mean, every experience has been moving. Experiences of people talking about, there's a woman today that was sharing very personal, I mean, like what Punky means to them, this exquisite, amazing, phenomenal woman who dressed up full-blown Punky, and we got to have this exquisite moment together. And then the two friends that came dressed up like Punky, I mean, literally, and that your husband brought you here, and that it was his Christmas present to you, and I mean, just like each experience is so beautiful, and then the last Comic-Con experiences of people, being able to share their beautiful moments in life and their painful moments in life, and I really take that to heart. And so every time someone shares what Punky or those experience, like what that show like helped them get through, or Kid 90, the documentary that I did.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Thank you so much. And the deeply personal things that they share with me, like I hold that really close to my heart, and I like really, really treasure that, because I love love, and I take a lot of pride and trust, and I want to always feel like people have a safe place with me, and that makes my heart just like feel exponentially bigger.
It's kind of like Punky Brewster, the gift that just keeps on giving.
Exactly, she really is. Yeah.
So let's switch over to what brought you to be a director and films.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've always loved documenting. I think, I loved journalism since I was a kid. I carried a video camera everywhere I went as a teenager, audio, diaries, all of it, and documented my whole life, and then locked it all away. I think a lot of it was because I was very protective of my friends, and we'd grown up, in this colorful industry. And also, I think on a deeper level, I had also lost some of my really dear friends, and I think it was just too painful to watch. So I locked it up in Tupperware and locked it away for like 20 years. And then I started wondering like if life had happened really the way that we remembered it, because it was so crazy to me to have lost not like superficial friendships, like really deep friendships. And so I started going back through the tapes, and originally I thought I was making a documentary about everyone but me, and then it became like a really personal journey. So that was Kid 90. So really, I started that so many years ago. And then in my 20s, my dad had Alzheimer's, and he was in the early stages, and we drove cross country and retraced his history. And then we went and shared it with some festivals, and then I kind of locked it away. I tend to do this thing where sometimes I lock things away for years. But I'm sharing more now anyway.
No, it's good.
And so it really, I've always loved journalism, and I love directing, and I love producing, and I love doing scripted, and I love doing documentaries, and documentaries are incredibly close to my heart, and I have a few very exciting ones that will be coming out very soon, and then more and more, and I love storytelling that really gets to the heart. One other thing, everyone that traveled from like far away that shared, thank you so much. Every person that shared their travel story, I love you so much. And the waiting. Sorry, so, oh my God, I just keep thinking of all these beautiful stories that I heard today.
It's your time. This is so nice.
I just keep going.
Yeah. So do you feel more comfortable behind the camera or in front of the camera?
You know, it's a great question. I love playing characters, and that is so fun and wonderful. And I absolutely love documenting. I think for me, the camera in a way was almost like this protective device growing up sometimes, that it was like this lens between, and what started as more of a protective device, once I like went on a further journey into myself, became like this incredible limb, you know. One of the documentaries that I've been working on, which is so personal, I ended up shooting 95% of it on my iPhone because it became such a personal story, and literally it was as if it was like just connected to like one of my body parts. It was like another hand, you know what I mean? And so the idea that it could become so connective, you know. Another one that will be announced in the next month, which I cannot wait for you guys to see. It's a big one. The family that I've been working with trusted in me so much, and that kind of trust and that kind of love where you become family, you know, it's just like people deserve to have a safe space to share, and I find a great honor in being able to be behind the camera in that way, to allow people to share their stories, because I think we each have such important stories to share, and that we deserve to have a safe space to share them, whether with friends, family, prayer, making documentaries, art, creativity, journaling. I think that's really important, and so I love so that's a big part of my heart.
Good. Would you mind getting some questions
No,
from the
of
audience?
course.
Raise your hand.
Please,
Sean's going to come
please.
around and get your questions. And thanks for doing this.
Thank
This
you
is
so
such a nice
much.
thing. Let's get some questions. Raise your hand. Sean will
I
be
was
right
really
there.
nervous at first. No.
What was your time like working on Sabrina the Teenage Witch as Roxy?
Oh, awesome question. So much fun. So Melissa and I are also, she's like one of the closest people in my life. We still spend so much time together. We go hang out in Tahoe and travel. Like, I mean, literally it's so fun just because a lot of time she's up there. And so we were always great friends, which was so awesome, which also meant a lot of time after hours we were getting into trouble and then going to work, not getting into trouble, but you know, having fun. And then we would go to work the next morning, and it was so much fun because it was like working with my one of my best friends. So we had a really, really, really fun time. It was fantastic. We had a lot of fun. We played a lot. We would scooter down to like the street to like eat, and it was amazing because we didn't just like live together on set. We lived together like after hours. It was like amazing. And Melissa is just one of the most humble, beautiful, wonderful people. She's incredible.
Okay, another question down front.
Hello.
Hi.
Are you able to talk about your experience on Friends?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So that was such a fun experience. A funny story that I was sharing with someone earlier is that my dad was a Golden Glove boxer, so I always loved boxing. So when I went into the audition, I'm pretty sure the reason that I got the part, or one of the main reasons, was that I didn't like understand that like in acting you just like fake punch somebody. And I was auditioning with the person that was like casting it, and I punched them and they fell back into the like drapes, and so they were laughing so hard. So I ended up getting it. And I proceeded to not realize that you could just play a punch. So I was like, I did definitely, I was like, I learned that later, like, oh, right, you can just pretend to do it. But I was like, so wanted to prove myself because obviously it was Friends and it was like the most awesome show and cast, and I knew a few of them from before, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so amazing. So I wanted to like really prove myself, punching my way through it. It was so fun.
Hi, I'm Monica from San Antonio, Texas. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, my younger self. Oh. Which version of my younger self? I think it all comes down to love and to keep working on my inner world, because I think our inner world then reflects in our outer world, you know? And I would hug her and love her. And it's interesting you ask that, because a lot of times I'll close my eyes at this point in my life, and I'll go back to different times in my life. It's a meditation that I love to do, and I'll go to different parts or painful moments, you know, or moments where I might have felt abandoned or not worthy, and I go and I talk to my younger self and I give her that love, because I think sometimes we have these traumatic things in our lives, and it's what the stories are then that we tell ourselves afterwards, and that we have to oftentimes like try to reprogram that. So I would love her, and I would hold her, and I would tell her that everything's gonna be all right. And it's gonna be better than all right. It's gonna be incredible. And to keep thinking positive, because I do think that so much of our thoughts help create our reality.
Next question,
Thank
please.
you. Not make assumptions, don't take things personal. I mean, I could keep going. I mean, I'd have a few hours to chat with her, so.
What has been the greatest and most wonderful, positive opportunities that show business has given you? Has it been more acting, writing, producing? Has it been the charitable organizations that you've been able to support? Has it been being able to hang out and meet fans or meet just awesome people in the industry?
Oh, you're amazing. It's about this moment right here, right now, which is being with all of you. I mean, truly, this is beautiful, and there's nowhere else that I would rather be. And, you know, the idea that last night I could be with people that I love, celebrating and being a part of philanthropy that I love so much, and be with childhood friends that I love so much, and that authenticity that you can share those beautiful shared experiences, and then to have the opportunity to come here and be with all of you. It's like this moment right here is so beautiful. Last night was beautiful. This moment's beautiful, and I want more of this, more beautiful moments, more celebration of life, you know? And yeah, so this is amazing.
That is nice.
And also I think being able to make art that can create conversations, you know, that has been the opportunity, like you mentioned, to create and create meaningful work that really that becomes a discussion. With Kid 90, it was so moving for me, for people to be able to share that they felt like they were watching themselves when they were watching Kid 90, and that was so important to me. I remember a dear friend's coming over to me, and he was like 27 years old, and he's like, I've been that 17-year-old girl in the pool. And I'm like, that's how I want to connect with people. And whether it's a documentary like Kid 90 that dealt with so many of those things, or you know, this documentary that I'm working on right now that deals a great deal with mental health and breaking generational patterns. I think having conversations is so important, and the opportunity to be able to create work that creates a conversation is really meaningful to me. And then hearing your input and us sharing is like it's like full circle. It's so awesome.
We've got time for about 2 more questions. You're headed to your table after
Yeah.
this? Okay, so keep that in mind. You'll want to hang out. Let's get 2 more questions. She just got off the flight. She's, still raring to go, so this is pretty awesome.
Thank
Let's
you.
nail 2 more questions, and thanks for doing this.
But by the way, your questions are going to be playing through my head the rest of the night. And I'm going to be like, oh my God, I want to say that. I want to say that. I want to say that. So you guys have to bring me back, okay? Because I want to answer more and more.
All right,
Like,
you got it. Let's see what we got. Fire away.
Hi, thank you so much for Kid 90. What a collection. Incredible, probably like my dream documentary. Was there anything you left out of Kid 90 that you wish could have made it? And if so, could you tell us what it was?
it's so awesome that you asked that. There's so much more golden footage of some of our most loved, beloved, amazing, talented creatives, like so much more. And so there was enough to just keep going and going and going. And I think that was one of the hardest things was without naming names, being like, oh my God, how am I not gonna have this in there, But I have to say, the amount of trust that my friends had and allowed me, where they were like, you just go for it, put whatever you want. Like that kind of trust was so incredible, and I literally cannot wait for you guys to see these upcoming documentaries. I know I want to talk about. I want to say what they are so badly. Just really soon, I will. And I think in a similar vein, there is, although they're very different, there are similarities, you know what I mean, to I think what you will feel when you watch.
And
Without giving so much away, I have a good feeling, and I can't wait for you to tell me what you think.
awesome. We'll get that next time you're here.
It's so exciting, you guys. I'm so excited.
Do
I seem excited? I'm excited.
Is there a website people can kind of keep track of when it is?
all my Instagram
All
and
that
stuff.
stuff?
I'll
Okay.
I'll be like,
Okay. Just kidding.
everyone, just gear up. Like the next few months it's gonna be wild. Yeah, it's gonna be a wild journey.
And once again, last question. Then she's headed to her table to sign. Last question.
But you know what? One other thing about Kid 90, someday I'd really like to do a museum where you could go in and watch the raw tapes and see all the diary entries, like an exhibit where you could actually go. And because there's so many thousands of pages of diary entries and so many photographs, and I'd love for people to be able to go and put on the headphones and just go live in New York City with my skateboard friends, or in Los Angeles with my friends in LA, and have that experience of what it was like to go down the rabbit hole.
Sounds a lot of fun. Thanks so much for doing
Thank you
this.
guys so
What
much. You guys have been amazing. Thank you.
Soleil,
I love
Moon,
you guys.
Frye.
Thank you for making this the best holiday ever. I mean, truly, I love you guys so much. And you're making me cry. I love you guys.